self-loathing will never get you far. And what we tend to do a lot of the times is speak negatively to ourselves to try and force us into positive action. Hello angels, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, hello, my name is Asha Christina. Very nice to meet you. With that being said, since you are new, you might want to subscribe. I'm just saying, I don't know, that's just me. This is gonna be a pretty deep video. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram, which will be right here. And if you are not up to date with my videos, then you might not be subscribed to my mailing list, which kind of is a problem because I just released my first podcast episode and everyone that was signed up to my mailing list was the first to know when it dropped. So every Monday I will be releasing a new podcast episode, guys, so please make sure that you are signed up for my mailing list. It will be available on Spotify as well as Anchor and soon to be Apple. And next we have the Quality Queen comment of the day, and it says, ladies, listen to me. The only BS we're buying is bags and shoes from now on. The end, period. I mean, I absolutely love that comment and I absolutely agree. We are not going to be tolerating any nonsensical nonsense. Make it make sense. If you would like a chance to be featured as the Quality Queen comment of the day, make sure that you comment down below because I select all my comments from the previous video. I'm coming at you guys today with a very deep video. This topic has been on my heart, and I know that I do talk about dating a lot on my channel, and while relationships in general are extremely important all across the board, I really don't want to ignore the thought-provoking videos and the videos that cause you to dig deeper within yourself and encourage you to have some sort of introspection into your life. Angels, today we are going to be talking about 5 ways to move past regrets. We all have regrets, and as much as we'd all like to say that we don't regret anything, really deep down, I'm sure that we all do. So because right now the world is on pause and it's forcing us into a state of introspection, in a lot of ways, this is really good because a lot of the times we are usually told to forgive this person and forgive that person, but what about forgiving ourselves? Because I always say on this channel that at the end of the day, no matter what you do and all the things you do, it all starts with you. We have been gifted with time. I mean, who would have thought? Because time waits for no one, essentially. But now we are all in a state where there really is no context of time. The days are blending together. It is now the perfect time more than ever to get your life on track, to ask yourself the hard questions, and I'm gonna help you do it. Are you ready? Tip number 1, what triggers your negative thoughts? This is definitely key when it comes to forgiving yourself of your past and your regrets. What are those moments where you have that negative self-talk? What memories are you triggered by which causes you to sort of have this downward spiral of unworthiness? And because a lot of the times we are on autopilot, oh, I ate that bag of chips. Oh, I'm disgusting. Oh, I didn't work out today. I'm so fat. I'm so lazy. Pay attention to your internal monologue. Counteract those statements with positive ones. And you're not always going to believe the things that you say. And this is what I don't want to get confused here. A lot of the times people say the cliche advice, if you're thinking negative thoughts, well, just think about happy ones. And it's really difficult to do that depending on where you are in your journey to cultivate a sort of false sense of happiness when you are extremely sad or depressed or have extreme regret over a certain event or situation, or if you've been living your life kind of on autopilot and you suddenly, now that we've had all this time to think, have this sudden realization of, oh my gosh, what is happening? What am I doing with my life? What was I doing wasting my time in that relationship? What am I doing wasting my time in this relationship? But because you are not always going to believe it, know this, that you are still planting the seeds. When I was in the worst time of my life, I understood still, even in the midst, that every beginning has an ending. I promise you that. Bad times don't last always, and sometimes, good times don't last always. We will experience these things at different points in our lives, but we do get better and better at handling them. Because I know in the healing journey, it's painful, growing pains, of course. I experience it. I probably am still experiencing a lot of it. And sometimes, depending on how you look at it, it feels like, oh my gosh, I just got over the situation. I thought everything was going well for me, and now I'm entering into another situation. But like I always say, healing isn't linear, growth isn't linear. It's gonna take time, and you're not always going to believe it, but you're planting the seeds. Number 2, ask yourself, how are you benefiting from all of this self-hatred? Self-loathing will never get you far. And what we tend to do a lot of the times is speak negatively to ourselves to try and force us into positive action. And that's not going to be successful. You can't tell yourself you're fat, you're fat, you're fat into generating a positive outlook on exercising. It's sort of done by punishment. Well, because I did this and I ate that, I'm gonna punish myself and I'm gonna undereat. I'm gonna punish myself and I'm gonna over-exercise. There's no balance. There's an all or nothing mentality. We are never going to be perfect. And for my fellow perfectionists out there, I understand the struggle. I get it. And it's still a work in progress, even for myself. There is a huge difference, angels, between honesty and reflection and emotional assaulting. When you emotionally assault yourself, you're constantly rehashing the past. Why did I do this? Why couldn't this be different? All of these things. And these things are normal. However, you cannot constantly continue to badger yourself because nothing positive will come out of that. If you want love and acceptance and happiness, etc., whatever it is, it starts with you. Because when we insult ourselves, all that does is breed shame and guilt, insecurity, unworthiness. So we cannot expect people to figure us out or nourish us back to the right state of mind or complete us so that we no longer feel this way about ourselves, filling that void that we feel like we have. Because what's gonna happen is it's going to feel good and soothe it for the moment. Think of it kind of like a Band-Aid. Band-Aids aid in the recovery process. They don't get down to the source. They don't heal all the time from within. So as good as it feels to have that guy love us more than we honestly feel like we love ourselves, it won't last long. And think about it. You will never feel good enough because it's coming from you. No matter how reassuring your boyfriend is. Babe, you're beautiful. Oh, no, I'm not. Babe, I think you look so good in that dress. Really? I mean, honestly, I feel like I look disgusting in this dress, but thank you. Not accepting compliments because you do feel unworthy. And a lot of us tend to do these things because some of us think that it's a form of humbleness. If somebody compliments you, you counteract that by saying something to belittle yourself because you're not really accepting of what that person says. But consider how exhausting it is to have to continue to remind someone, you are loved, you are beautiful, you're this, you're that, you look great. To be that physical source of self-esteem for another individual when we all have a plethora of variations of issues within ourselves is exhausting. And no one deserves that job to be that source of happiness, to be that blanket of security as a whole for anyone. Number 3, stop wallowing. Understand that we all choose what is in line with our needs at that time. It's only when you're able to reflect on what it is that you did that you're able to conclude whether that decision was a good or bad one, depending on what the outcome is. But consider this, if you beat yourself up over your mistakes, that's essentially the same as expecting yourself to see what you didn't see before and know what you didn't know before. That doesn't make any sense. We only make mistakes because we genuinely don't think it's a mistake at that time. And whether or not we were calculating the consequences or the risk, we genuinely felt like we were doing the best that we could at that time according to our own level of consciousness. So consider this, next time you're home and you're in bed at night and you're just staring at the ceiling and just like hating everything and life sucks and life gets tough, because life gets tough. Trust me. I don't care who you look at on Instagram and you see that girl with the perfect boobs, the perfect hair, the perfect teeth, perfect everything. I don't care who you see. Everybody has their own issues. I don't care who has tons of money. Whatever the case is, everyone has issues. No one's life is perfect. And the more pressure you put on yourself to live up to the standards in your own head that you're projecting onto yourself because you believe that another individual is living this way, the more depressed and sad you're going to become, and the more you're going to compare, comparison is the thief of joy, and feel endlessly and insufferably less than another individual. Your life is your life. Your journey is your journey. It belongs to you. Consider if the pain has lessened or worsened with all this time that you've been wallowing in it. More than likely, what we choose to stay stuck on is going to get worse, because if you see no end in sight to a mistake that you now can't change, and it's not an easy thing to accept, then what? What are our options? Instead, I want you to ask questions like, how can I move forward? What was this here to teach me? Because what that's going to do is immediately remove you from that sort of victim mentality. What was this here to teach me? Don't stay stuck. Number 4, forgive yourself. Very obvious. I've said this on multiple videos before for different things, but you have to forgive yourself. There is freedom in forgiveness. There is healing in forgiveness. There's an exercise that Lisa Nichols has, and it's a mirror exercise where you look in the mirror and I believe you write down 3 things. So you say your name, and I've mentioned this in a video before. You say your name, and then you say, I forgive you for. Then you say your name, and then you say, I commit to you that. And then you say your name again, and then you say, I am proud of you for. In this exercise, it's very emotional, or at least it should be, because this is a very serious thing. And what this forces you to do is forgive yourself daily, to commit to yourself a new mission, and to be proud of yourself and celebrate your achievements and be your own cheerleader, when not all the time are the people that you expect around you are going to be capable of recognizing every little achievement that you have and celebrate it in the manner that you would. So it's important to have that validation within ourselves. Think about how forgiving makes you feel. When somebody forgives you, if you feel like you did something so terrible, even if it's as simple as you were rushing in the airport and you walked past someone and you knocked, their coffee down on accident. It's like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. And depending on that person's reaction, if that person reacted and said, oh my God, no, it's okay, it's an honest mistake, I completely get it. I know we're like all in a rush here. You're gonna feel like, oh my God, wow, like that was really nice. You're gonna either maybe want to buy that person another coffee, or you're gonna continue heading on in your direction, and you feel a lot better and at peace. And maybe when you get on the plane, you think, wow, that lady was like really nice. Like I really made an honest mistake, and she forgave me like that. Now imagine if you did that same thing and the person was like, you knew I was here. You saw me standing here and you purposely bumped into me. Like, people have no manners these days. Now imagine if she would have did that. Then you would have gotten to some sort of argument, possibly because you're in a rush, you genuinely didn't mean it, and it kind of will ruin a lot of your day until maybe you reach your destination, because you feel like, wow, this person is so unforgiving of me for an honest mistake that I made. I'm very confused. Am I making sense? So consider it like this. Whenever you forgive yourself, it's a fresh start with a new perspective, with a wiser perspective. Wise people don't just become wise because they make no mistakes. Yes, arguably, some people have better judgment than others, but what makes wise people wise is that one, they learn from other people's mistakes, and two, they also learn from making their own. If you were constantly going to stay in the mind frame of self-loathing and hating yourself for all the things you did, constantly rehashing the past, wallowing in your sorrows, one, you will become or continue to be a victim to life and circumstances and experiences, and you won't be able to release the stress, the pressure, the anxiety, and the worry. You did the best that you could. You did what you thought was best for you at that time. You chose to date that guy because, hey, you were probably hoping that the outcome would change. When it didn't, oh, I'm so stupid for that. Okay, well, that was kind of mean to yourself, but we talk like this to ourselves. Let's not lie here, but we're not gonna wallow in it. This is why I can't be in a relationship anymore because, well, they're probably all gonna be like him and I don't wanna be stupid and fall for this person and fall for that person. Calm down. Calm down. Because a lot of the people that are super critical of others are super critical of themselves. People that speak so harshly without any sort of grace are like that with themselves. Trust me, it all starts here. So consider that the next time you're interacting with someone, be more forgiving with you, and you're going to be more forgiving with others. And forgiveness doesn't mean stupid. It's not I'm losing to this person because I'm choosing to forgive them. Whatever the case is, it is setting yourself free. I am no longer tied to this situation. I am no longer going to hold this on my shoulder anymore. I'm going to let it go. And number 5, commit to moving past your regret. Action and affirmation. You have to fight for your happiness sometimes and for yourself. Not necessarily against another person, but sometimes you have to fight for your happiness. You have to take control of the situation. It's not easy because there's different processes in whatever state you are in your life. There's going to be a time where you're going to be sad and you're going to wallow and just feel sorry for yourself for a certain amount of time. As you progress and as you continue to plant seeds and implement positive ways to deal with your regrets and life's misfortunes, you will get better at it. You have to understand that you are worth it. Pick your head up. It's not always going to be like this. It'll all make sense. We may not understand it. Sometimes we don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but it will all make sense. Try and even visualize, even if you can, for 10 to 20 seconds of what is life going to be when this is over? Not even necessarily this quarantine, but just where is your mindset going to be when this is over? What are you doing with your time right now? Day by day, commit to move past it. I'm not going to obsess over why that relationship didn't work out anymore. I'm not going to romanticize what that relationship was. I'm not going to continue to spend 10 hours out of my day stalking that guy on Instagram and all these things because I want to see what he's doing next, and now I'm upset because I don't understand how he's not thinking about me and he's acting like I didn't even exist. I'm not going to spend my time getting upset over certain individuals around me. Their behavior remains the same. I'm trying to progress. I'm trying to elevate. I got to make the changes for myself. I don't want to pity myself anymore. I don't want to feel sorry for myself. I want my life to change. So because time is so precious, time is of the essence, you have to consider how will you use it. I saw this quote the other day that said, if you are bored, that is life telling you that you are wasting time. A lot of self-healing can occur in this time. You're not missing on any parties. There's no restaurants to go eat and try the latest menu. All you have right now is you and time to think. And it's scary for a lot of us because sometimes, because we are usually on autopilot, now that we have the time to think, it's like, oh my God, this is a lot here. I'm not really ready for this, but that's how the journey begins. I really feel like this message was super timely, and I really know in my heart that this message is for you. You're not alone in the things that you're going through. Life is going to get better for you. Your circumstances are going to change. Everything that has a beginning has an end. I have been there. We're all a work in progress. With that being said, angels, I really hope that this video resonated with you. If you watch this video all the way to the end, I want you to leave a yellow heart emoji in the comment section below. And do not forget that we are still on the road to 200K. So if you found this video useful to you, be sure to share it to your friends, your cousin, whoever you feel like needs to see it right now. So with that being said, do not forget that I love you and God loves you, and I will see you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.